Francophone, 2 fois président, passer le pouvoir à un anglophone. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président.
Hi. Good day, the beautiful people of the Cameroons, the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon, and the beautiful people of British Cameroon. Once more, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Today, I have come to look at second-class citizen in another way and in a legal perspective. The reason being, there are some Anglophones, when we talk about being second-class citizens, they will come and say, no, I'm not a second-class citizen, I'm this, I'm that. No. Second-class citizen is an English word. It's not about your subjective definition. It has an objective definition. I understand there are people who are slaves. They will say, I'm not a slave, because they are house slaves, because they eat their crumbs. However, British Cameroon National Party is a party that uses the law of La République du Cameroon to challenge Mr. Bia's government and the ruling chop people their money, CPDM. So today, I want to talk about the 1984 April coup d'etat and some Anglophones who use the Article 65 right of the Constitution of the Cameroons, and today they are in prison, they are in Kondenge. It tells you, I want to talk about the justice system of La République du Cameroon, how there is one law for Anglophones and one law for Francophones. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on. What's this? I will start by defining what is a second-class citizen. A second-class citizen is someone who is discriminated against or denied the same right and opportunity as other people in the society. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about British Cameroon and La République du Cameroon in this case, because I know people will always come and say, oh, what about me? We don't have water, we don't have electricity in Garawa, we don't have this in South, we don't have this in Bafoussam. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about two countries that came together with different institutions. That's the level of discrimination I'm talking about. We talk about water and electricity in another day. That's not what I'm talking about. The fun is, somebody who comes from La République du Cameroon, you're free to speak your French. The president speaks in French. Even the colonial Anglophone ministers who are there, they speak in French. They write their communique in French. Most things in CRTV is in French. I don't see why they don't have two TV stations. One is talking in English, one they talk in French. They keep bilingual news. I don't know all those things for. There's nothing in the constitution in the Cameroons that says I must speak French or English. I want to speak my indigenous language. That's discrimination. They don't allow me to do that. They don't teach that in our schools. They want to force me. I must speak only French or English. But that's not the point of today. Forgive me for that distraction. The point is, as I was talking about second-class citizens, someone that they discriminate against or they deny the same right and opportunity as other people in the society. It's a fact. I will not go there. And this is often due to their membership in a particular group. We all know there are certain level in Cameroon. They end somewhere I'm somebody personally, I've witnessed discrimination in the Cameroons. When I was in Guaquele, they used to tell us, allez les Biafra, allez chez vous. It was open. When Emma Bazil, the government delegate that Mr. Biya put there, I've been to his house when he was alive for personal reason. He used to say, ennemi dans la maison, serpent dans la maison. So that's discrimination. That's discrimination. I don't want to go further. And it happens because you belong to a member of a particular group. The last time I was in the Cameroons, that's 2022. I was in a taxi in Yaoundé. Me. So I was speaking in French. Then later on, I turned and started talking in English to the taxi driver there. He said, "Tu es Ambazonian." That's a taxi driver calling me an Ambazonian. That's it. A francophone, an individual. And he's not only the one. There are other people who are like that. So that's discrimination. But an example of such discrimination could be like African Americans in those days in America, they used to segregate against them. That was discrimination. In South Africa, during the white minority rule, apartheid government against the black, that was discrimination. In the La République du Cameroun, against British Cameroon, they are imposing their institution against us. That is discrimination. The crux of this political broadcast today is about the 6th April 1984 coup d'etat. What happened? What's a coup d'etat? A coup d'etat is forcefully overthrowing a government. That's the worst offense in the entire universe. If you make a coup d'etat in America, it's death penalty, capital punishment. In European countries, there's no capital punishment. That's why coup d'etat, they cannot give you death penalty in most European countries. But I'm sure you will spend life imprisonment. In most Asian countries, China, India, other countries, is death sentence, coup d'etat. So the reason I'm talking about this coup d'etat is because why? I want to tell you how these people, they discriminate against Anglophone. Minister Issa Chiruma and others, they were sentenced. Mr. Chiruma spent 8 years in prison for his part, the part that he played in the April 1984 coup d'etat against Mr. Biya's government. He spent 8 years for coup d'etat, something that's death sentence. Certain things that they will put you in firing squad or they will hang you. He spent 8 years. There are people who have stolen certain things. They have spent more than 10 years in prison. He spent just 8 years. Bello Buba ran away and went to Nigeria because of that coup d'etat. And today, because coup d'etat is the most heinous crime in any country on earth. You want to overthrow the government forcefully. We have seen coup d'etat. They kill people. You know about Thomas Sankara. Different coup d'etats, you know, Kwame Nkrumah, all over Africa. Patrice Lumumba. You know, coup d'etat is worse than terrorism. I know some of you will say, oh, terrorism. I'll tell you what's terrorism later on. But these people, because they come from La République du Cameroun, they spend just about 8 years and they are in government. Minister Chiruma, Minister Bello Buba, because what? They are La République people. But Anglophones, they were exercising the Article 65 right of Cameroon Constitution of La République. They were exercising their right. For those of you who haven't read Article 65 of the Constitution, go and read it, then you will understand what I'm talking about. Your right to say what you want to say or what you think. Nobody should forbid you. Your right to participate in politics. Your right to associate with whoever you want peacefully. Nobody can stop you to associate with who you want. That's Article 65 right of La République Constitution. So, some Anglophones, they were exercising their right that I want independence. If you want independence, it's a political ideology. It's not a crime in accordance to the Constitution of the Cameroons. you say Cameroon is one and indivisible, it is your political opinion. It is not against the constitution of the Cameroon or your political opinion. I have a right, my political opinion. I said, today, vote for me. If you vote for me, Douala will become independent. It's my political opinion. It's not a crime. So, Anglophones who were exercising their political opinion in accordance to Article 65 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroun, they have given them life imprisonment. They say they are rebelling. People who are exercising their political rights. Then people who wanted to overthrow the Bia's government, they are ministers today. Chiruma, Bello Buba, they are ministers. People who went to prison, like Minister Chiruma, he's running the country, he's part of the government. But Anglophones, British Cameroonians, are in prison for exercising their constitutional right. That is what? Discrimination. That's what? Second-class citizen. That's what? Segregation. I must make this clear. I am open to debate to any political party, anytime, any day. You call me for a live debate, I will debate. I don't only come and sit on social media and talk by myself. I'm open to debate. I'm willing to debate anytime, any day with anyone. If you know what Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party, is saying, if you believe I'm not speaking the truth, let's have that live debate. Nobody will come. The CPDM, they are afraid to debate with me. All the opposition political parties are afraid to debate with me. Do you know why? They don't have a manifesto. They all believe in politics of personality cult. For more than 30 years since the reintroduction of multi-party politics, all of them, they don't have a manifesto. Ask them, what do they stand for? France CFA, they don't know. Monetary policy, they don't know. Interest rate, they don't know. Inflation, they don't know. Health policy, they don't have. Taxation, they don't have. Talk about Anglophone problem, they don't have a solution. All they say is, Cameroon is one and indivisible. These are people who are not fit to run a country. And we of the British Cameroon National Party, we are after all of you. For those of you who are Anglophones and you think you're not a second-class citizen, it is simple. I'm not making it up. If you read the Constitution of the Cameroons and you read the segregation laws and you see all those things, you know I'm speaking the truth. Okay, if they are not discriminated against the Anglophones, when did we agree that we should be using France CFA? We had our own money. Which document? Can you bring any document to say, okay, Muna and Foncha, they agree with Aijo that we'll be using France CFA? Is there anything like that? No. Is there any document that say Enam, which is administrator, that was they inherited from France, La République in 1945? Is there any document that say it is administrator, civil servants who are going to be politicians? Because Paul Biya is a civil servant, Musonge, civil servant, Achide Achu was a civil servant, Aijo was a civil servant, Diongute a civil servant. All of them are civil servants. Politicians don't run Cameroon is civil servant. We in British Cameroons, we used to have politicians. Dr. Endeli, he was not a civil servant, he was a politician. In Nigeria there. Chief Mukete, all they were politicians, most of those, but they were not civil servants. Dr. Endeli was a medical doctor. He entered politics. But Paul Biya, they have Machiku, Aijo Machiku, Diongute Machiku, Achide Achu Machiku. How can civil servants who are meant to be impartial, neutral, how can you allow civil servants to be running a country? We need politicians like myself to run a country. That's not all. Gendarmerie that they inherited from France in 1791, they are forcing it on Anglophone. Foncha made it clear. We did not agree that gendarmes should come to our side. The aim of police officer is to fight crime. If you have police, you don't have to double police with gendarme. We don't need gendarme. In the United Kingdom, London have got their police force. The police force in London have got nothing to do with Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Coventry, Scotland, all places, regions, all the regions in the United Kingdom, they have different police. Not like in Cameroon. A gendarme in Yaoundé will have something to do with Boya Bamenda. No, it doesn't happen that way. You cannot send B from Yaoundé to go to Northwest. It doesn't happen. Even in America, in Western country, local police, every community, they have their police because police is there to fight crime and they work with the society. It's just like you take somebody who speaks French to go and be a police or gendarme in Boya, in Bamenda, in Manfe. It doesn't happen like that in any democratic country. It is local people who understand the culture, who know how to speak the language. They have to be the police. You cannot send gendarme from La République to come and be in London. They won't understand you. Who are you? Sending gendarme from La République or B to go to British Cameroon, it's like sending gendarme from Cameroons to come to London or United Kingdom. That's what you're doing. It's the same thing. It's just like you are sending Francophone people who are to become governors or DO. It doesn't happen that way. Governors and DO are supposed to be local people that we know, that we elect them. You take somebody whose first language and culture is Francophone, or even if it is Bameleke or Betty, you don't send them to an English part because their aim is to communicate with them. But because you take these people to suppress our citizen of British Cameroon. 2024, we are still appointing governors, a political position run by civil servants. To show that we are what? Second-class citizens. There have never been any common law jurisdiction. We don't have a Supreme Court. Now, the BI regime is saying that we have a common law jurisdiction in Yaoundé. No, we don't need to have a common law jurisdiction in Yaoundé. We need to have it in Boya. It has to be separated rather. Somebody will commit a crime in Bamenda, in Boya, in Kikakilaki, in other parts of British Cameroon. You take them and go and try them in a military tribunal, something that was used in France. Is it in 1793? That's what you are using in 2024 to oppress us, to make us second-class citizens. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, my political broadcast is not about Francophone civilians or Anglophone civilians. It's about a government, a clique, a house slave that France, Macron, and co. they have put in Africa to suppress. They are not only suppressing the Anglophones, they are suppressing the Francophones too. The Francophones who are not in power, those who don't have Godas, those who no, they chuhead them, those Francophones. I'm not talking about you. You people are suffering too. So British Cameroon National Party can even liberate those Francophones who are suffering under the Bia Aijo regime. CNU rebranded CPDM. More than 60 years, one party have been in power. So that's it. When you come against Semak, Semak is a colonial thing from Udiak to Semak. It's a French institution to control their money, control economy in Francophone African countries. So why is it that British Cameroon is not in ECOWAS, which is made of mostly of English-speaking countries? So you are into the money of Cameroon, since I know, the money of Cameroon, the France CFA that they use, there was no English there. In 2024, you communicate with people by writing communique. Do you think it's everybody who know how to read and write in that country? Primitive style. 2024. Oh, minister have written a communique. Fekafoot have written to communicate. You talk to human being through communique paper, writing on A4 paper. Backward people. British Cameroon National Party will change that. There are so many ways to communicate. I sit here just through my phone, different department, government department, different company. They communicate with me. I have a phone. They will send things to my number. Whether it's electricity company, gas company, government department, private company, they communicate to me directly. If there is a danger of fire or electricity, they will communicate to me, Metro Electricity, on my phone. They don't write communicate. We are living in 2024. British Cameroon National Party have come to make sure the people of British Cameroon, they start living 2024, not start living in 14th century life. I saw Minister Atanganji when some people, I saw some journalists, oh God, Anglophone journalists, some of them, I don't believe it. When I was growing up, you have Epsingu, Chalinji, Chair, Eric Chinger, all those good journalists, Anglophones, good journalists. Today I will see journalists in Cameroon, Anglophones. President Pierre have donated what to Far North. Is Biya a businessman? How can Biya donate something? The government have given it. The job of a government is to assist the public socially, economically, maintain law and order, enforce law. And a journalist, an Anglophone, you sit and write, President Paul Biya donate. No, you don't use that word. The government is carrying out its function. It's not a favor. It's taxpayers' money. It's my money. It's your money. As I sit, the government still owe money from me. That came out through Ministry of Finance. It's what, 31 years today. They have eaten my money. The money came out there. They share the money in Ministry of Finance among them. Money that belongs to me legally. So that's how they are. So they don't have money. They eat taxpayers their money. So ladies and gentlemen, today, I was talking today in connection to the fact that Anglophones in general, as a member of a group, I'm not talking about individual, because during slavery in America or apartheid in South Africa, there were some blacks who were benefiting under apartheid regime. Not all of them were suffering, one or two. But I'm talking as Anglophones, British Cameroonian, as a member of a group. They are second-class citizens in accordance to the laws of the Cameroon. Bello Buba and the co, they made a coup d'etat. Chiruma went to prison. Bello Buba fled to Nigeria. But today, they are there. Chiruma spent just 8 years in prison. But Anglophones, for exercising the Article 65 right, the right to your freedom of opinion, participate in politics, engage with an assembly, they are there in Kondenge. Life imprisonment. They say they are terrorists. Rebellion. No, they are not terrorists if you exercise your political opinion. And I will tell you, these two, coup d'etat is more dangerous than terrorism. I know most of you, when you think about terrorism, you think only about Bin Laden type of terrorism. Bin Laden terrorism is exceptional, that type of one. If, I'll give you an example, there was a terrorist recently terrorizing people in Yaoundé. I don't know if it's a Dio or what, or SDO. That Dio, who said in Yaoundé that if people do A, B, C, they will not be allowed to come to Yaoundé, yes, they will ban some people to come to Yaoundé. I'm sure it went viral. That's terrorism. Do you know why? What he said was against the constitution of the Cameroons or the laws. Terrorism means using unlawful violence. Words could be violent. Word. You saw what somebody said in Rwanda, cockroaches, and almost a million people were killed in Rwanda. You can assault somebody by using words. Assault cannot be only by me hitting you or being there. You can use words. So to use those type of words, hatred, inciting hatred, it's unlawful in accordance with the laws of Cameroon. So that man, he is supporting the regime politically. So terrorism is defined as using unlawful violence, most especially against civilians, for political objective. We know all the governor, colonial deals, all of them, they are political, they support the ruling party, they are not neutral. So that man was, you can associate the deal of Yaoundé as a terrorist because he used unlawful violence. The law of Cameroon doesn't say you cannot stop a person in the Cameroons not to live in Yaoundé, Douala, or anywhere. We all have right to live there. Stopping people not to stay there and threatening them is unlawful. So he was using unlawful violence with a political objective, that's supporting the CPDM political party. That's terrorism. So terrorism doesn't mean you bring down a plane. That's not it. There are different types of terrorism. Terrorism with a normal crime, the difference is that there is political objective there. Anything that you do which is criminal, that you have political objective is called terrorism. So there are crimes that are worse than terrorism. I can sit here and I take a machete, I go out following some, Allah Akbar, we don't want you here. That's terrorism, me alone. That's terrorism. So we should be careful when we use that word terrorism, we say whatsoever. Terrorism, there are different levels. So the colonial SDO, what he said was terrorism. But people don't know that because they don't read their laws. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this is helpful. And to me, each time I come and speak here, if you don't agree with me and you think you can come, let's have this debate live, I'm always open. But the truth is, I'm not talking about individual Anglophone. If you look at the two countries that came together, one country is forcing their institution on another country. That is treating the other country like second-class citizen. Mr. Biya confirmed in France that they try to assimilate us, they try to integrate us, and they annex us. So ladies and gentlemen, have a nice weekend. I hope this political party broadcast has been useful to you. Have a wonderful weekend. This has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Deve Lee Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Stay blessed.
Un pauvre qui vote pour celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah bien, c'est le président.